So welcome back if you're following along with this Fireplace feature wall series, or if you're just here to check out the fireplace. In this video, I'm just going to go over basically an install and review of this. So I got mine on Amazon. It was the most top-rated Amazon choice. Lots of sales, lots of reviews. You can get these for under 200 bucks. I think when I got mine, it was on sale for $179. I got the 36 wide version. There's multiple sizes you can get, but I'll leave a link down to the exact one. And this I'm going to be going over how to install in a recess application. So I have a rough framed feature wall with the cutout for the fireplace. So I'll go over how to install it and then show you all the features. So let's get started. So I've already unpackaged it. So this glass, first thing to note, the instructions aren't that great. It doesn't really specify, but this glass piece on the front in shipping is screwed in place. So there are 2 screw holes on each side, so 4 screws total, silver screws, small ones, that you have to remove in order to get the front off. You have to get the front glass piece off in order to mount it. And then those screws don't go back in, so they're only there for shipping. So take the glass off, and then on the inside, there was some packaging, cardboard, and foam to hold this all in during shipping, which I have removed. So now we're going to go ahead and take the glass piece back off because we have to have it off in order to install. So the way it removes is you just lift up on it and it comes out. And then I'll set this here. So there are these little key, slots, 2 on each side, and then on the back there are 2 hooks, and these hooks just slide in and then slide down, and that's how the front piece is held on. But let's go set this out of the way and start with the install. Well, I'm leaving the wood logs in. They're not actual wood, so they're like appear to be some kind of fiberglass material, but light actually shines up into these and lights it up, as well as the flames. It also comes with a bag of little clear crystal stones. You could swap for those if that fits your look. So, but I'm using the log for this. So first thing I will note before we get started here is it also has feet on the back and on the bottom. So there's little rubber feet for sitting in. You could set this on the ground technically, and it can also mount to a wall. So on the back there is this wall mount, so you would just remove screws on each side, and then this wall mount has slots for you to put it on your wall, and then this clips into this hanger. I'm doing a recess mount, so I'm not going over that, but I'm just going to leave it on. There's no reason to remove it for the recess mount in my framing. In the ad and in the instruction, there's a little diagram that shows you the size your rough framing needs to be. So for this 36-inch model, it needs to be 32.77 inches across, 4.33 inches deep, and 16.54 inches tall. So that is basically what I have framed here. The top to bottom works great. I've already test fit it. I will say the side-to-side dimensions are kind of a problem. It didn't immediately fit, and on top of that, what compounded it is the fact that the cord comes out of the side. So because the cord comes out of the side, you need a little more width. I didn't want it to be too wide because it mounts with these screws to the framing. So what I ended up doing was squared up the front of these studs on the side and then slightly angled them back. I don't know if you can kind of see that, but these aren't perfectly square to here. They're kind of a couple degrees slanted away for a little more room to fit it in and out. And then I'll show you this in a little bit when I install it. I had to clearance for that cord because it was getting smashed and doing a hard 90 and I didn't like it. So I just took a paddle bit, 1-inch drill bit, drilled it out. You cleaned it up with a sander just to clearance a little room for where the cord goes. I'll show you that when I get it installed. But to install it's pretty straightforward. I'll set you down real quick. feed my cord into the cavity. And I'm going to put the side with the cord in first. And then just fully slide it into my opening. So because it's got those stable feet and it's well balanced, it actually sits there fine. But so there, you would install 4 screws into the wood, which it comes with that hardware to do your final mounting. And then you can do your final centering. So if you see, I already made pencil marks when I first installed it. So I actually have to slide it over a tad to actually center it side to side in my framing. But I'll show you around back the problem I have with the cord. Get you in here to see this. So all right, so there's where the cord turns. I know the lighting's not great, but this cable was like getting completely bent over hard and smashed. So I have this little bit of clearance here. That's all I did to make sure that the cable wasn't getting crimped in the wood here. For this demonstration, I'm just gonna put this 1 screw back in from when I initially test fit it. Make sure it's held in place, but you would normally do all 4 screws to do your final mounting. And now let's get the glass cover put back on. All right, so again, on the glass cover, there's the 2 hooks and the 2 receivers on each side. So you're just gonna look down, get it pushed on both, and then let it drop down into place. And make sure all of them engaged, which they did. And now my cover is installed. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in. And if you already have your finished material in your, recessed installation, you'd want to plug it in first before mounting it. But since I have not finished this bump out yet, I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in. It makes a little beep when you plug it in. So there's 2 ways to control it. It comes with a remote, and it has the little touch buttons on the front. So power, color, flame height, heater, temperature, and time delay. And then it gives you a readout here, and here's the little sensor for the receiving the remote. It's just a little simple remote. Takes 2 AAA batteries, not included. So, but for this, I'm going to use the remote. Basically how the remote works is any button, you have to like hit it once to like wake it up, and then like hit it again to get it to do something. So like right now, I turned it on, and this is the default color. But if I want to turn it off, I have to hit it once to like wake it up, and then hit it again to turn it off. And that goes for the same for like the buttons here. So like it's on. Oh no, for the power it just goes right off. But a lot of these you have to like wake it up when I was messing with it before. So color. Okay, so the buttons on here respond right away. It's a little different. So I turn the heater on. So the heat comes out in the center, the fan, and then intakes are these 2 grates on the side. Once the heater's off, it has a cool down cycle, so it runs the fan for like 30 seconds. But when you use the remote, it's like this double thing. See if I can capture this up. So it's on, and I'm going to try to change the color. So I hit it once, and it like wakes up the board on there, and then I have to actually hit it again to change the color. And then once I'm doing that, it responds. So same for like if I want to turn the heater on, and once it's on, and once the lights on here go off, now when I hit the button again on a remote, it like wakes it up but doesn't do anything, and then you have to hit it again. And it switches it to high and then off for heat. So I'll let that cycle off. But it has 12 different colors. I'll go ahead and shut the drapes and change the lighting, get it a little darker in here, and run through all the colors so you can see them. So I shut some of the lights off so you can see everything better. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on. It defaults to this is color 1, just an orange generic flame color. So that's that right there. It has a green, blue, I call this like white maybe, a green and orange. So it looks like orange on the stone and then green and orange, or orange on the log and then green and orange for the flames. It's got this purplish blue color, orange and white, turquoise and blue. It might be showing up a little more blue on camera, but there's some more greenish turquoise in that. Green and white, this blue and white, and another like white, green, and orange kind of looking color. And then another, I see like white, turquoise, blue. So it's like a mix of colors. And then back to the original color orange. So it also has 5 levels of intensity for the flame height. So that is the highest 5. There's 4, 3, 2, 1. So it just gets a little dimmer and less flame height kind of looks like. So those are the basic colors and the flame height options. I'll turn some lighting back on and go over the heating options and time delay. Apparently it also has a color changing feature that I accidentally just put it in. So basically every 10 seconds it dims out and changes to the next color pattern. So let's see if we can catch a couple of those color changes real quick. So it kind of dims out, changes colors. So on the setting, that's the 0 setting. So if you leave it on 0, apparently it sits here and goes through the colors. Because if I put it on 1, it's just going to stay on number 1, orange color. So that's kind of interesting. So if you wanted to constantly change colors like that, it's kind of a cool feature I didn't know it had. Again, instructions don't say anything about that. I just kind of stumbled upon it. You can't run the heat without the LED fireplace on. So because the fireplace is on, I have the option to run the heat. But there's no, if you power it off, the heat and the flames won't work, if that makes sense. So if you wanted to use it just as a heater without any flames on, it would not work for you. But let's go through temperatures, see if you can see that. So it'll show you the temperature. So the temperature is adjustable. So it has a thermostat too. So I just got up to 78 and it clicked on. It can sense the temperature in the room. But it has a 20-degree swing, adjust in 2-degree increments. So 82 is as high as you can set it, and then 62 is as low as you can set it. So now that I have it set at 62, it's warmer than in this room. So I just felt the heat go away, and then it's going to run the fan for a few seconds and then shut off. And again, it actually puts out a good amount. I'm sitting about 3 feet away and I can feel it pretty good. So you can also adjust the level. There's 2 settings for the heat. So it has 00 displaying, that means it's off. And then if you go to low, it says LL for low, and then HH for high. It's supposed to be like 750 watts on low and 1,000 on high. Now the directions did show a maximum wattage of 1500 for like startup, but that's fine. This runs on a normal 15 amp outlet. Just keep that in mind. On initial startup of the heater, it may draw up to 1500 amps, but on high it's only supposed to draw 1,000, low 750. So right now I have it on high. It's hitting me right in the face, so I'm sitting right here about 3 feet away. Even if I lean back 4 or 5 feet away, this thing actually puts out a good amount of heat. I can feel it way back here. So I was pretty impressed with that aspect of it. And it says this model will heat up to a 400 square foot space or room. So for this little frog that has heating and cooling problems, big room over the garage with poor insulation, this should help out quite a bit. And then it has a time delay. So when you hit that button, it starts at 0, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So up to 8 hours of time delay, and that's just for the heater. So if I put it on 1, it'll run the heat for an hour and then shut off. It also has a high temp safety, so if there's a problem with the heating element or it senses an overheating condition, like above 82 degrees for the output, it'll shut itself down and have to cool off before it'll run again. So, but I'm going to set the temperature, so let's go really low again. Let's go 62. I still feel heat. Okay, the heat just clicked off because now I'm feeling cold air from the blower hitting me, and then it should run for a few seconds and then shut off. It's giving the heater element in there time to cool down before it turns the blower off, which is a nice feature. There it goes. And again, you can also use these touch buttons. So pretty clean look. They're not lit when not in use, but if you touch anything, it lights them all up for you, and then you can start using them and then turn it off. So even if you just were to turn it off, it'll keep running the fan until it senses that the heater element's cooled down. So yeah, that's the basic features of it. I was pretty impressed with it for the price. Like I said, 179 bucks I think is what I got it for. I hope that was helpful. Really the only issue I ran into with the install was the cord being on the side. For a recessed install, you have to clearance it. It didn't fit exactly the way I wanted without pinching that cable. Other than that, it's really nice looking. Fit and finish is great. It seems well built. I like the look of it. And again, I've got fingerprints all over this, but this will clean up easily just with a cloth. So it's a great look, but I have to get it uninstalled because I have to put my finished material on. So if you're just checking out the fireplace, thanks for watching. If not, next video in the series, I'm going to be installing the finished material on this framing we built. Decided to go with some shiplap. So I'll see you in the next one. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.